Okay. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the local show at Northwind Manor. Yay. We have just a couple of people in the audience tonight, and we are so excited to be doing this once again. So my name is Andrew, and I don't know which camera I'm supposed to be looking at. I'm just going to look at the one with the red light. So my name is Andrew, and it is the second week of Eastertide, and that is awesome. And so we want to say a special thank you to Ronald Blue Trust for helping make this show possible, and also to remind you guys at home who are watching, if you are not members of the Rabbit Room, what are you waiting for? Because it's awesome. So check out the Rabbit Room. The local show is one of the ministries of the Rabbit Room, and we're so excited to be able to gather people together and get really great singer-songwriters in the same room and to make music for you. And so I think that's it. So I'm going to try out the Rabbit Room, the tweaked Rabbit Room mission statement. For those of you guys who don't know what the Rabbit Room is, the Rabbit Room curates and cultivates stories, music, and art to nourish Christ-centered communities for the life of the world. And so if you want to be a part of that, then by all means, check out the Rabbit Room. And so without further ado, I want to introduce the singer-songwriters tonight. We have my good friend, Miss Taylor Leonhardt. We just did a show. Yes. Was it a week and a half ago? Yeah. Right? That we did the Easter show at the Ryman, and it was so fun.
It was awesome.
You did great, and I'm so glad that you're here. It's all downhill from here.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm saying. So, and then behind me, you can't see him, but this is my friend Drew Miller, who is a wonderful songwriter and is on staff at the Rabbit Room. So you've spent a lot of time in this room, but you haven't played songs in here yet, right? No. Yeah. And then Jac Thompson. Yeah. What's up, Jac Thompson? Whose debut record I have been eagerly awaiting for about 5 years. And we're getting close, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I'm putting you on the spot. Anyway, Jac literally didn't know she was doing this show about 48 hours ago, right? If that. And so we're so glad that she could be here with us. And then finally, Becca Jordan. What's up? Hey. Becca is wonderful. If you're watching from the UK, which hopefully there's a few UK people tuning in, she was at Hutchmoot UK 2 years ago now because we couldn't do it last year, and was just a huge blessing to everybody there. So give all of these songwriters a huge hand.
Wow. I'm so excited to be playing music with other human beings. I was just talking with Jac earlier before this about how long it's been and how rusty. Like, we were both talking about how we feel rusty with banter, like in between songs and stuff. So I brought my security blanket, which is Jaber Crow by Wendell Berry. And so instead of introducing this song with my own explanation, I'm just going to lean on the beautiful words of Wendell in this story. This selection I'm going to read it was kind of the sort of fertile soil out of which this first song I'm going to share arose. And so I think you'll pick up on a few phrases from the excerpt that'll come up in the song. So Jaber, who is the protagonist and the narrator of the whole story, is kind of towards the end of his life. And I'm not spoiling anything, I promise. No major plot points are being given away here. But he's talking about how he began to just have these nightmares in his sleep about the devastation and destruction of land that is near and dear to him. And he's just finished talking about some of these really bad dreams that he's had. And then he says, but wait, also there were times when good dreams came to me. They still come. Not so long ago I had dreamed, I thought all night, such dreams as I have told. I was exhausted. I thought, won't morning ever come? And then, asleep or awake, I looked out and saw the stars, and a deep, peaceful sleep came upon me. The phone rang, which was strange because I've never owned a telephone in my life. I let it ring a long time because, as I told myself, my phone couldn't be ringing because I don't have a phone. When I answered it, it was Athie Keith. He said, Jaber, if you haven't already done something too silly, come on up to Art Rowanberry's and sit with us for a while. All right, I said, and hung up. I thought, what's Athie doing calling me up? Athie's dead, and Art Rowanberry, he's been dead 2 years. But I got up and put on my clothes. It was still night, and the air when I opened the door and stepped out was damp and fresh. I walked along the river road to the Sand Ripple Road and walked up into the smaller valley. It was day by then, perfectly cloudless and bright. I crossed the creek on the little swinging footbridge. As I went along the lane below the house, I looked up and saw Athie Keith and Art Rowanberry sitting on the porch. Elton Penn was there. Burley Coulter was there. They were smiling, lifting their hands to me, glad to be together, glad to see me. "Howdy, howdy," Art called. "Come up." Elton was sitting beside him in the swing. I had sat there with the four of them many a Sunday afternoon, resting and talking. I went up and sat below them on the top step. To be there seemed strange, but it was all right. "Well, ain't it a fine day overhead?" Art said, as he always used to do. And Elton picked up Art's hand and kissed it. There were tears of joy in his eyes. I sat with them a long time, listening to them talk of the things they had always talked about before. But I didn't know the time. The sun seemed to be standing still. I knew that Uncle Athie's old silver watch was in my pocket, but I knew also that it was not running. Finally, I realized where I was. So this is a song called Grace. Love don't bury your hope too deep. Love don't bury your hope too deep. They said this is perfectly normal. There is no cause for concern. As they put your life inside a few boxes and drove away with everything you had owned. Pleasant enough they seemed, like they had clearly done this before. And when you woke up from your dream, there was something that you couldn't ignore. It's crazy what they'd have you ignore. Love don't bury your hope too deep, lest it lives on still. There's nothing we've got that we get to keep. In time your hands will be filled. So love don't bury your hope too deep. There's a grief older than you are that you're not the first one to feel. If the precious things need our defending, it's 'cause we gave ourselves permission to steal. But there's a grace older than you are, and you cry its tears on your face. Says if you're looking for something more lasting, well, be prepared to come in last place. Be prepared to come in last place. Love don't bury your hope too deep, lest it lives on still. There's nothing we've got that we get to keep. In time your hands will be filled. When they take their axe to the oldest tree and the black sky's empty of stars, believe in what you cannot see when you no longer know where you are. Love don't bury your hope too deep. Believe in what you cannot see. There's a grace older than you are, and the sun will stand still in the sky. There's a grace older than you are, and he'll wipe every tear from every eye, from every eye, from every eye. When sunlight covers the newborn ground and healing closes the scar, when everything you lost is finally found, then you'll know where you are. So love, don't bury your hope too deep. Love, don't bury your hope too deep. Thanks.
That was amazing. I've never gotten to hear you play when you know we're live. I've seen you on the local show. You know, I'm glad to be here too. I'm so glad you started with that one. Started the whole night. I might sing one too. Sing me one more song, honey, give it all you got. If you hold and love me, you can call me somebody I'm not. I want you to wait, want you to stay and take your time. And kiss me like you couldn't when you were in your right mind. I don't think I can keep my heart out of this, so you roll the dice and think it all over. It's whatever you decide. Well, I'm not afraid of the time it takes. If your mind's made up, I can make it change. You could leave your lover for all we know. Not gonna push you, babe, but you should let her go. You don't know what you walking in the room does to my heart. How can we be so close but ages apart? You just lying on the couch, grumbling about your lady. If you love her like that, what does it matter? You're her man. Well, I'm not afraid of the time it takes. If your mind's made up, I can make it change. You could leave your lover for all we know. Not gonna push you, babe, but you should let her go. That was the solo. I'm the coach in the corner when I do. Thank you. I'm the coach in the corner when you can't take another round. I'm picking you up while you're letting it out, honey. I deserve a little more time on your mind. I'm not afraid of the time it takes. If your mind's made up, I can make it change. leave your lover. For all we know, not gonna push you, but you should let her go. Let her go. Let her go. You should let her go.
Are you kidding me? I have to play. Jac, you are pure joy and pure talent. So delightful. Thank you for sharing. I'm so glad that I get to be here and play this beautiful, beautiful piano. So. You see the sun in the sky. You hear me say it's gonna be alright. You bow your head and cry, 'cause your heart is dark as night. And you cannot seem to find your way in the daylight. I know that this is all you can see. Your heart bleeding right there on your sleeve. You are praying for a little reprieve while your heart is dark as night. And you cannot seem to find your way in the daylight. Oh, morning is coming, oh, I believe it's true. But the only good news I have right now is I love you. I love you. Remember when your heart felt alive? You were flying like a firefly, oh my friend. Even now you still shine when your heart is so dark. And you think you're never gonna find your way. I'm here to tell you that it's gonna be okay.
Hey guys, oh this is really fun. I'm so happy to be here with you guys. I feel like I've hung out with all of you separately, and now we're together. That's the best part about these, is like you just get to mix and match your friends. You know, it's like those little toy. I don't even know what I'm saying. Those things that like little kids play with, where like the clothes match, and you put like Hawaiian shorts with like a fancy top. You know what I'm talking about? Barbies. Oh, wow. So this is a song. I wrote this on a guitar I bought from you, Drew Miller. I don't have that guitar now, but that's a pretty cool story. So, great. Thank you. watching the chasm grow wider, standing at opposite sides. She's not backing down, I'm not backing down. Come hell or high water, I'm my mother's daughter. You recognize my independence, well, I come by it honestly. I was born with the fire, she was born with the fire, and nothing can stop her, she's her mother's daughter. You think I'm easy to love, just try to push me around. You wanna rile me up, just tell me to calm down. Well, I'm my mother's daughter. I never thought she understood me. I swore her nothing alike. Now the older I get, I was wrong, I admit. This stubborn fast talker is her mother's daughter, and a girl's allowed to complain about her mama sometimes. If you say one little thing about her, you're gonna find I'm my mother's daughter. She knows she's riding my case. I know I rattle her nerves. We both know just what to say to make the other one hurt. If anyone is strong enough to change, to bend, to break, to learn, then it's my mother's daughter. It's my mother. I'm my mother's daughter. Come hell or high water, I'm my mother's daughter. Come hell or high water. Come hell or high water, I'm my mother's daughter. Come hell or high water. Come hell or high water, I'm my mother's daughter.
Is that the song? So at a local show, I think it was maybe like 1 or 2 years ago, I remember you playing that, and I think you introduced it as saying that was your country song.
Oh, that's.
Like, was that something else?
It was a different one.
Oh, it was a different one? Okay.
I guess I'm just writing country songs.
Hey, yeah. Well, I'm remembering wrongly then. Okay, so this song here has a bit of a story, so I'm going to tell it. And it all starts in that fateful month of March 2020. It was Friday the 13th, actually, which is a little spooky. But every Friday, my wife, Kelsey, and I, we have pizza night. So we make homemade pizza and play music and light candles and just sort of toast to the week that has just gone by. And on March 13th, 2020, the week that had just gone by, was the one that introduced us to things like social distancing and the idea of a quarantine, which would surely only last about 6 weeks tops at that point. It's like the impression we were under. And stuff like that. And so the music was playing, and we had sliced the pizza, and I just made our old fashions, and we were like about to toast. And I was like, 2? And Kelsey was like, whatever comes next. And that phrase, in that moment, and especially early on in kind of the learning curve of 2020, was more of like a joke, more of like just a place where we could go for humor of like, well, whatever comes next, you know. But over the course of the year, it started to accumulate just more meaning of different kinds, where we had no idea what was coming next, and tragedy after tragedy. And then even in that phrase too, I think the reason that we kept coming back to it was that as long as we are willing to admit that we don't know what's coming next, as long as we can admit our ignorance as human beings, there's grounds for hope. And I've just been struck by how often in moments of despair for me, those moments are linked with this fierce certainty. Like, I know how it's all going to end and work out, and it's never going to get better. And so despair just feels so linked to certainty, whereas hope feels like it requires some measure of like, I don't know, and I'm willing to be surprised and for my imagination to be eclipsed by something else, So whatever comes next, that was this phrase that we kept coming back to. And then in October, we did Hutchmoot Homebound here at the Rabbit Room in this place we're in right now. The staff gathered and kind of managed that event online as it unfolded, which is kind of a digital version of our annual arts conference that's usually in person. And it was one of the nights of Hutchmoot Homebound, I think it was like maybe the second one, that Jac, who has just sneakily found her way up here, had written a poem that she shared with us, and we all just cried because she had put words so perfectly to the complexities of both the gratitude and the pain of that year. And of course, for us as a staff, Hutchmoot Homebound was, it kind of just absorbed all of our pandemic focus. We're going to put all of our effort into making this thing as good as it can be, come hell or high water. And so, for me, like, when Jac read that poem, it brought together so many things that I'd been wrestling with all year long and helped me to write this next song that I'm going to share. So I asked Jac if, before I played that song, she would be willing to share the poem so you could kind of experience it in the order in which it happened for me. So thank you. So Jac's going to read her poem now.
I'm actually going to attempt to recite the poem, so if I forget it all in the middle of this, y'all are just going to have grace with me, because that's the only option. I am grateful. Darkness pulls at the edge of my cloak, and I am grateful to stand in the smoke. I am able to laugh as I choke under scorched skies. Milky eyes leave streaks through dust tracks on my cheeks. Ash rains down around me in the streets. Father, your world is on fire. I raise my hands higher in the flames. I am more than dust and rust and pain. I am grateful for the strain of music running through the veins of earth, for the birth of new joy in a hurricane of woes, for those who lift their horns to split the night asunder, for thorns shoved into willing brows and the thunder of hooves on battle plains, for those who bow beside me under the weight and laugh, for the dark that could not hide me and the dawn that always rises in the east, for the feast to come that's starting here with table straps of grace and the light of shattered gold on every face, every trace of truth. It matters. And it breaks into the battered body like a song. I am wrecked and sore and long to rest, but more and more and more and best, I am grateful.
Father, your world's on fire, and every day I wake up tired and afraid of what's required of me. But But your daughter filled my cup, said, look at me and listen up, said, a toast to all we've yet to see. To whatever comes next, whatever comes next, let's raise another glass to whatever comes next. So this world's the one I inherit. It takes the best of me just to bear it, while the rest of me wants to tear it down. I got no choice in the matter but to let illusions shatter and scatter like seeds on the ground. For whatever comes next, whatever comes next, let's raise another glass to whatever comes next. And I won't regret what I cannot know yet. I'm gonna stick around for whatever comes next, whatever comes next. Father, your world's on fire. Father, your world's on fire, and look at how it shines. Father, your world's on fire. Father, your world's on fire. I have often wondered, a sister grieves for her brother. She can't conceive of another ending. For all that hope she carried, only to see it buried. Then through her tears she hears Mary. So what comes next? So what comes next?
Shijay, we love you. Thank you. Thank you for that. True. Just like what a talent it is to be able to take your own words and someone else's words, and I can't even really do mine. Takes me a while, at least. At least 2 pandemics for me. Not funny. Thanks. All right. I'm gonna sing a song. It's a new one. I think that I'm technically the business opportunity would be to hide this until the record comes out, but I'm too excited. So thank you. Plus, we won't tell anyone. So, right? Man. Lost the train of thought. Oh yeah, when I was writing this one, I was like, I know what this song is about because I know myself and I know my craft. Great. And then I finished it and I was like, oh, just like that. And it turns out it's just not about that at all. It sounds like, and it is about asking for help, but it's mostly about how you feel about yourself. Not you specifically. Okay. Man, I always do the vocal first. That's annoying. Okay. Something to know about ourselves. Anyway, I just like start the song. I'm like, I'm ready to go. Okay. I've been keeping myself to myself these days, and it's okay. It's my natural state. I've come so close to catching my breath, but it always seems to slip away. I didn't know I was flying till I'm face down, free falling to the ground. Can't keep myself steady. Someone says to me, are you ready to come on down? I need you to pull my shoe. I wanna think of myself the way you think about me, so well and inconsistently. But you could make a place for me. You could make believe. You could catch me tripping off my feet. I didn't know I was flying till I'm face down, free falling to the ground. Can't keep myself steady. Someone says to me, are you ready to come on down? I need you to pull my shoe. When you think about you, do you have the same attitude? Do you slow motion stumble into the wrong interview? And if so, I wouldn't know. You look like something to rely on. I could rely on. You always come off as someone could call way past midnight. I remember you said you could never waste my time. You pulled me close, both shoulders. You don't mind if I come over, do you? Do you? I need you to pull my shoe. It's not shoe, it's shoot. Yeah, okay. My mom goes, pull my shoe. Sorry. I forgot the T that time, so you never know. Way to kill a moment. I need you to pull my shoe.
So good. These are my favorite kind. When I meet people that don't know what the in the round concept is, it makes me a little bit sad because it's my favorite way to experience music. So I feel a part of a community even up here together with you guys. So brilliant. Well, I work full-time in a retirement community. I think a lot of you know that, but it's definitely influenced and informed my life the last 4 years. And the next two songs I'll play come from stories of people I've encountered there. And this next one was inspired by a person that really moved me in terms of I would play music there before COVID. And it's really beautiful to see people who appear to not be present in the room, although their body is, and to play a song and to watch them come to life. And it's definitely a place that has made me question, or made me, not in a bad way, but in a really good way, kind of approach God in a way of, what is faith? What does it mean to be loved around people who are so often forgetting so many things and consistently reminding them of that? And so I guess this song is me wrestling through, what if my unbelief is just simply forgetting who I am in the eyes of God? Your love is like a word on the tip of my tongue. I've heard it 1,000 times, but now it won't come. Your love is like a house I've walked in before. It all looks so familiar, but I don't feel at home here anymore. How could I forget? Will you tell me once again? When you sing over me, I know right where I am. When you sing over me, I belong again. Your love is like a banner waving over me. In my darkest hour, oh, help my unbelief. How could I forget? Will you tell me once again? When you sing over me, I know right where I am. When you sing over me, I belong again. When you sing over me, I know right where I am. When you sing over me, I belong again. Your love is my first and truest memory. Your love is my first and truest memory. Your love is my first and truest memory.
I love that song so much. Can I tell a story about that song? Becca played that song one time in front of one of our songwriting heroes, Sarah Groves, and I turned around and Sarah was crying, and I thought, well, that is just, I'll never forget that moment. And everyone was crying, but, you know, it's really fun to know Becca and hear her voice in that song, and I love the way your work is just so baked into it. Also, the other day, we were both having respective Tinder days, as people do. And we went to Target, and we both spent at least $50 on candles, and that's it, I think. Just candles and luxurious things. And I looked at her, and I realized she's not going to judge me, and I'm not going to judge her, and I hope you have a friend like that. That sometimes that's exactly what you need. So, I love you, girl. I'm making it hard on myself. I'm playing some new songs, but oh yeah. Whew, here we go. This is a song. It's called Grandfather Mountain, and it's about big feelings, capital B, capital F, big feelings, and how they're so real, but they are not the truest thing about us. And man, I need friends to remind me of that. I've been out all night trying to find you. Calling, but you won't pick up the phone. You're dragging your heavy heart behind you. Do you really want to be alone? Head down, dark clouds moving in. You're not the weather, you're not the wind. Your grandfather mountain. The rain comes, the rain goes. You are still standing. How easily blue skies turn to thunder. Just a word could bring you to your knees. But you got a choice to run for cover, or you could feel the earth strong as steel under your feet. Your head down, dark clouds moving in. You're not the weather, you're not the wind. Your grandfather mountain. The rain comes, the rain goes, and you are still standing. You are still standing. No bad advice, no Bible verse. I promise I won't say a word. But if you think you need a friend, if you wanna let me in, when it's really coming down, together we can ride it out. No feeling is forever. Your head down, dark clouds moving in. You're not the weather, you're not the wind. Your grandfather mountain. The rain comes, the rain goes, and you are still. The rain comes, the rain goes, and you are still standing. You are still standing.
So good. So good. Oh, it is so nice to hear all of these amazing songs in person. Gosh, I've missed this a lot. So I've heard it said in a lot of different ways by a lot of different people that it is much more difficult to write a convincingly happy thing in any art form than it is to write a convincingly sad thing. Happy endings are, notorious. Like we just don't buy it typically. It's a lot harder to buy it. And I'm speaking from personal experience too. Like it's just if there's a story that everything wraps up together just perfectly, like you just have a little more suspicion going into that ending than you do if everything goes wrong, And I have, plenty of theories about why that is true. But I decided to set out to write a song called Happy Ending, about happy endings that tried to actually tie things together satisfyingly. And as usual, I was like headstrong, I can do this, come on, you know. And then 2 years later, I had not finished it yet. And so this is one of those where, you know, I loved the first verse and the first like refrain, and I was like, I know I've got something. But that second verse, it took forever. It took 2 years on and off. So I've never played it for anyone before, so I'm going to test it out on you guys. No pressure to buy this happy ending, but I hope that it satisfies. Who says you can't have a happy ending? Who says all your hopes are false? Who says, and who do they think they're fooling? This thirst of yours to thirst no more. Who says all dreams are of escaping? Who says you have to close your eyes? Some dreams become their way to waking into hope, realized into you. Might be surprised when you lose your life at the last word of your last line. Tell me what you find. Who's this invading all your dreaming? Who's this advancing under threat? Who's this so terrified of losing? What's at stake? Why so grave? You cannot take what I freely gave. When I lose my life at the last word of my last line, I'll tell you what is mine. Than yourself, that at last you wait for someone else, some light to bid you come away and watch the morning break. Who says? So who says? Who says you can't have a happy ending? Thanks.
There's nowhere else I'd rather be, for real, than here. Yeah. And I like to be a lot of places. Taylor, you want to help me with this one?
Yeah, I hope here we go. Ooh.
I
can read it from here.
You can?
Yeah.
I wrote it on graph paper to make it more difficult. More lines. Thank you so much to you who are online watching us. We've largely ignored you. Not really. I mean, we've just been really into us. I don't know. Thank you for coming. No, for letting us in your living room or on your iOS device. And yeah, thank you to the Rabbit Room. I can't think of an organization that has done more for me during a pandemic. And so, yeah, I really appreciate it, and the staff as well. I'm not gonna look at any of y'all because too awkward. So I'll just keep looking at Taylor.
There you go.
And I know these guys can attest to it too. So if the Rabbit Room tells you that they support artists and you don't believe them, well, it's simply not true that you don't believe them. Anyway, by all means, you feel good about it?
We're going to find out in about 1.5 minutes.
Does you feel good? I'm just kidding. What if I changed it? Oh my gosh. Let me double check the guitar.
I hope someone's watching from a Chili's tonight. I don't know why, that just seemed cool.
So, I think they're just takeout right now.
That seems cool to say. I was going to try it out. You should sing now. Yeah.
Farther down the road, you'll find me when you got nowhere left to go. You'll find me. Are we gonna let a season decide our destiny? Are you set on trying to hide me away? Once we waited toward the new horizon, west of where all the rivers run, down to the long lost valley of heaven, gone to dive in the flood. No more fooling around. We are to be Edenbound. Eden's a distant memory without you. I'm on my way and I am going nowhere without you. This is a second taste, second chance, would hate to waste it on us. Most are lucky to love just once. We waited toward the new horizon, west of where all the rivers run, down to the long lost valley of heaven, gone to dive in the flood. No more fooling around. We are to be Edenbound. We got lost in the fever tide. I'm not gonna let the sun set on us. Never gonna say goodbye. No more fooling around. We are to be Edenbound. 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 Taylor Leonhardt.
Jack, what is that one called? Edenbound?
Yes. Oh, Taylor and I had an argument earlier about the lyric. We fight all the time. But I wrote it. Not really. She was just like, oh, it's instead of we are to be Edenbound, which is a misheard lyric. That's fine. I like that lyric. Yeah. But it's we ought. You know, I got to throw in the ought for a little poetry.
We ought to be. Just for all you lyric people.
Edenbound. Okay.
You know who you are.
Cool. I just wanted to clarify because I'm looking forward to that record, and I wanted to make sure I could know the song that I'm looking for. Great. When is that coming out? Do you know? No comment. Okay.
No, I mean I have a month, but I'm not.
Okay.
But it could be the next month. Yeah. or the one before. I'm sorry. I'm
That's cool. You stay mysterious. Well, it's been a joy to sing with everybody tonight, and yeah, for those of you that are here and those watching from home, thank you. Or Chili's. So there's a group of gentlemen at the retirement community I work at that call themselves the Four Amigos because their wives have either passed or have moved on to assisted living. And so they have dinner together, and they're just a little group, and they're precious. And then one of the Four Amigos passed, and so then every month at parties, they would invite me and include me in their. They would say I was an honorary amigo or amiga in this group, and so I just love them, and so I wrote a song about them, and I think working where I have worked has taught me, especially when they included me in that group, was I think I have spent a lot of my life looking for love and a certain kind of love, and working with this population has taught me that there's a lot of love to be received if you would welcome it. So this group has taught me that. This song is called Ordinary Everyday Love. Sam goes next door every day to meet her. He waits in the very same place. He raves about how good the food is while she picks at a plate. That's what I saw love do today. Dale sees his kids every day to visit, talking while walking around the neighborhood. They get their steps in together, no matter the weather. That's what I saw love do today. Give me eyes to see who's standing in front of me. Could it be enough? Just ordinary everyday love. Jean's family comes every year for Christmas. I take their picture by the tree. We laugh and say how the time flies while it passes us by. That's what I saw love do today. Oh, that's what I saw love do today. Thank you.
That's what I saw love do today. Goodness. Well, I think this is the last song of the night. That's sad. That went by too fast. Thank you guys for watching. Is there any housekeeping after this, or is this kind of like the last thing? This is the last thing. I'm just warm. Prepare your hearts, okay? There's not like a ramp off, you know. Oh. Exactly, yes. Hey, we have some people we want to thank. Over here, Pete Peterson. Yeah. And over here, Jeremy. Jeremy and Pete are helping us out with all things technical. The reason why you're like, man, that sounds good and those people look good, it's because of Pete and Jeremy. So thank you so much. Thanks, y'all, for tuning in. And for those of you who are here, man, I've got Pfizer in my veins and hope in my heart tonight. And yeah, that's true. And I think that this Easter has felt okay. I think this Easter has felt different, right? I mean, is it safe to say that? I work for a church, and even planning kind of Easter songs was like, oh. I'm like, I need these resurrection songs, and it's just everything's feeling kind of disjointed, and I think, man, it's been easy in years past to sing these kind of triumphant, Jesus is alive songs, and this year feels harder, but yet, like, almost more than ever, I need to sing them, and I love that song Becca just sang. That's what I saw love do today, and I hope maybe, I want to sing this one song. I'd love for you to sing it with us. This is a song I released with my little duo, Mission House, with my friend Jess Ray. And it's really about that. It's about looking for the resurrection, for looking for what God is doing, not just one day, but what he's already doing right now. So music's always such a great reminder of that, of these people that have taken pain and loneliness and grief and sorrow, and they've mined it for gold, and they've like set it in front of us as like a feast tonight. So thanks to all of you too for just sharing that. It's so rich, and let's sing this together. It's called Behold. The empty filled, the wounded healed, the broken back together, the poor are blessed, the weary rest. We will dance forever. The blinded see, the chained are free, the doubtful now believer, the outcast known, the orphan home. You are my Redeemer. Behold, behold, behold what love can do. Behold, behold, he's making all things new. The lost return, the voiceless heard, the mourner now rejoicing, the mountain shake, the world awake, creation all composing, the sad untruth, the earth renewed, the song is found its singer, the darkness light, the dead alive. You are my Redeemer. Behold, behold, Give it up for these guys.